All right. So we got DJ Academics here. And DJ Academics, if you don't know who DJ Academics is, he is not an actual music DJ. He just calls himself that, which, okay, whatever. But DJ Academics got huge in hip hop when he was covering the war in Chirac. This was back in the early 2010s when drill music was, getting real big, Chief Keef, King Von, Lil Durk, all of that. And he covered that, and he got into a lot of beef with people because they said that his coverage of it pretty much made it more than what it had to be. Like they basically accused him of covering it and then keeping issues in the news cycle, and it caused beef where there didn't either need to be beef or where there could have been peace, right? But I mean, the news covers stuff, people cover stuff. If it's happening, it can be covered. So they basically tried to say that he was the problem rather than the gangbangers and the rappers participating in this. And he's a very controversial figure. I tend to like the guy. I love his content. He's a journalist. He's a self-proclaimed civilian. He is not with all the shenanigans, kind of like myself. So that's a little rundown on him. But what he is claiming here is that the internet removed all mystique from rappers. I just seen a convo where a rapper still trying to convince people they are so cool. Bruh, we see y'all lives. 360. You just as corny as the people you flexing on. You and your audience the same. Streaming killed rappers' aura. Now, I don't know if you guys agree. I don't know if you guys even listen to rap. As a person who just, as an internet person, as a person who makes content, I look at rap as content to be covered and to be made. It's very entertaining. A lot of lessons to be taught this way or that. And with him saying this, streamers kill rappers' aura, I find it very funny because, believe it or not, DJ Academics was very instrumental in rappers using the internet to boost themselves. Now, back in the day, if a rapper came out, Eminem, Jay-Z, whoever, when a rapper came out, there were predetermined mediums for them to use. They had to go to MTV. They had to go to BET. They had to go to the radio. They had to do tours. Like it was all cut and dry. It was cookie cutter. There were only certain avenues to get out there and get exposure. Okay. Well, the internet comes along, things start blowing up. YouTube becomes this bigger thing. And right before like 2015, when people really understood that, oh, the YouTube can actually be used to, make a career, around 2010, 2011, DJ Academics hops on the internet and he starts making these videos about Chirac. One thing leads to another, and now hip hop media, hip hop news is on a whole other level. Now, we already know we had like the Vibe and the Source and all the different magazines, but he became the digital version of all of that. And so what ends up happening is rappers realize if they can get on the internet some way, somehow, they can boost their image. So rappers start getting on Twitter, and then there's Twitter beefs. Rappers start getting on Instagram. The Instagram flex became like the new thing. They would be doing money spreads. They would, flex cars, flex trips, and things like that. This is where all the internet flexing really stems from, is like the rappers. They would flex a lifestyle, whether it was real or not. Okay, so DJ Academics was instrumental in boosting the internet rapper, boosting that image, right? Now, around 2015 is when we start getting people like Little Uzi Vert and Little Yachty. They start going on the Joe Budden podcast. This is where podcasts are like really blowing up, right? Podcasts are this new thing. They're, I don't know where all the deals and stuff come from, but like Complex own that. So like the magazines would have a way into the internet. And this was before people really were depending on the internet. This was before publications really thought the internet would take over. They thought it was just like this cute thing. Okay, we have our main publication, we have cable TV, but we'll go ahead and get something established on the internet just in case. So Complex magazine had like Everyday Struggle and things like that. MTV didn't really have a podcast, but there was certain little outlets. So people like Lil Uzi, Lil Yachty, they go on Power 105 or Power 107, whatever the case might be. They go on the Breakfast Club. They give these really, really terrible interviews because these guys weren't really polished, right? The rappers weren't getting polished back then. They were getting no kind of celebrity training. Typically, celebrities get training on how to handle the paparazzi, how to handle media, how to, do interviews. Around 2015, that goes away. So you get people like Lil Yachty, Lil Uzi, they're going on these podcasts and they're giving these really bad interviews. They don't know how to answer the questions. They don't know how their deals are structured when people are talking about the money and things like that. It's like they're in rap just for the vibe. So in this era, the internet is really making rappers look stupid, right? So it's making the rappers look stupid, and it's building the podcaster. It's building the social media the commentators. It's building the DJ academics. It's building the Trap Lord Rosses. So these guys, they have a healthy career because people are still buying albums to a small extent, but then, streaming is getting bigger and now people are on the internet. So the ecosystem is still healthy and everybody's eating. Well, fast forward to post-pandemic world. And now all of a sudden, nobody buys albums. Streaming pays pennies on the dollar. Snoop Dogg famously talked about how he had 1 billion streams and only made $45,000 off of that, right? So we know that the rappers aren't getting any money. Enter the streamer. You got people like Adin Ross. This is like the OG streamer. Like there's people in the game obviously before him, but when we talk about hip hop streamers that are adjacent to hip hop, Adin Ross is the OG. He put people like Cenat on. He put people like IShowSpeed on. He was like the first person to really start bringing on rappers. He brought on Playboy Carti, who scammed him out of like a couple $1 million. He brought on 21 Savage, who also scammed him. He brought on, I want to say Blueface and Krishan Rock. And they ended up bullying him on his on his own show and like taking over and making him look real, real bad. So he was the one who was instrumental in getting rappers into the streaming world. Okay. Here's what happens. We start seeing how much money the streamers like IShowSpeed and Cenat are making. We start seeing how much these Twitch deals are worth. We start seeing people get their YouTube channels and stuff monetized, and all of a sudden we see, oh, hold up. This person over here is making 30, 40K per stream. And this rapper over here is suing their record label because they're getting shafted on their deal. We're seeing people like Agent Zero buy Ferraris. We're seeing people like Cenat have entire garages full of like Maybachs and G-Wagons. Like we're seeing these people's money. We're seeing YouTubers make big, big money. And all of a sudden it clicks. Boom. These rappers are not who we thought they were. They're not making the money we thought they were making. This is in addition to them coming on these streams and looking stupid. The rappers come on the stream and they think that they're bigger than the internet. They think that they're bigger than the program. They're just too cool. They're too cool for school. They're too cool for the internet. Meanwhile, they're trying to flex on Cenat when he's got him beat 6-7 times over. You can't be worth 1 million while he's worth 40 and 50 and then try to flex on him. And so people started seeing that huge discrepancy. So all of a sudden it's like, who do I want to be? If I'm a kid in high school and I'm watching the streamers, it's like, yeah, I like this music that this rapper puts out, but at the same time, he not Kai. He not Duke Dennis. Duke Dennis don't have to go out there and be no killer, right? You got plenty of streamers who are super normal. They have they're so relatable because they don't have this larger than life aura. They're just super normal. They're super normal. They make a ton of money. They get to hang around pretty women, drive nice cars, have these adventurous lives. And they don't have to be this guy up here. As to where the rapper, we know the rapper is full of it. We know the rapper is corny. We know they're a cornball. So it's like, I really do think that streaming did kill the aura of the rapper, mostly from the standpoint of the money. There's so much money that somebody can make in streaming. Like if you can get 1,000 people to watch you, like on YouTube, and you're getting AdSense revenue, and you're like, let's say you're talking about hip hop, you're talking about current events, you talk about movie, whatever, and you just have 1,000 people watching you, which is tremendously difficult to do. You will be richer than 99% of the rappers because they don't get paid anything off the sales. They only make money off of the tour. That's the only time they get paid, really, is on the tour. So if I got 1,000 people watching me and I stream 3-4 days a week for 4 or 5 hours, bro, you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars. You're not going to be rich, but you're going to be better off than that person. And after like 2 years, you got what, 1,500 people, 2,500 people watching you, bro. And then if you're on Kick offers, well, I don't know if Kick offers deals, but I think Kick offers deals, Twitch offers deals. YouTube does not do exclusive streaming deals, but they do have AdSense and super chats and stuff like that. Bro, between the marketing, the branding, the exclusive deals, the AdSense revenue, streaming is just a better option just in general. And this is before we get to how stupid rappers look when they go on these streams and they just try to be way too cool. Now, some of the people in the comments said, streaming killed it. Wanting to be like streamers killed it. Being too cool for the internet killed it. If this was a psych study, it would be crazy to see how many artists got tricked out of their spot because of low esteem or being baited by the fans or the bots. And I mean, yeah, that's true. People were too cool. They were too cool to adapt to the new thing, right? It's like podcasts. Rappers missed the entire podcast wave, and then they came back and spun back like after like the lockdowns and everything like that. That's when they got on it. And now you see all these rappers like Cameron and Mace, they got a podcast, even though like podcasting is dead. Like it's really all about streams now, but they got a podcast, right? You got people like Fat Joe and Jadakiss, all these old 50-year-old rappers. Now they're spinning back 10 years after the fact. Like they're 10 years behind. Don't nobody want to see that stuff now. What else we got? It says, no, streaming made people realize idolizing anyone, including streamers, is dumb. No, it didn't, because people want to be their favorite streamer. People want to be Kai. People have parasocial relationships with people like DDG and India Love and all of that. People want to be the new streamers. Like people want to be streamers because it's so accessible and these people seem normal. These people seem normal to some degree, not larger than life, and they seem somewhat accessible while at the same time they're making good money. So I disagree with that. It says, shout out to all the top rappers not consistently using streamers for access and views. That's only like 4. It's only like 4 who can get away with that. Drake, Kendrick, Kanye, insert somebody else. Everybody else is using the streamers. Everybody else has a relationship with the streamers behind the scenes. NBA Youngboy, he don't need the streamers. Now they all like him. They all know him. But if you're not NBA Youngboy, Drake, Kanye, Kendrick, something like that, you need the streamers. You have to have some relationship where that streamer is going to play your music, talk about your album, stuff like that. Like you have to. That's how big streaming is. So I really do have to agree with Ack on this one. Like, so the internet removed all mystique from rappers. Yeah. The streamer, I believe streamers killed the traditional rap route. And I think he actually had another thing about this. He said, if I signed a rapper, I'd forbid them from going on any streamer platform. Why? Because the facade of being bigger than the program, cooler than the normal, is what rappers live off of. Every time I see a rapper on a stream, I'm reminded, this ninja lame like me. He just won the lottery. And that's what it is. People literally used to look at these rappers like they were just these larger than life figures. Like he said, bigger than the program. I'm 40 years old, and I'm gonna put it to you just like this. It's very difficult for me to listen to DMX after knowing King Von exists. Why? Because DMX wasn't no killer. He rapped like a killer. He talked killer talk. He don't got one body to his name. He never did nothing. And I mean, I'm glad he didn't. We all know that, he's a studio gangster. We know Tupac was a studio gangster. We know NWA were studio gangsters. We know all the rappers were studio gangsters. But when somebody like King Von comes along, who was a confirmed serial killer, right? Your aura is crushed. No one can listen to you after they listen to King Von, who was a real killer, and he was rapping and making hits and making it sound good. I'm not trying to promote this kind of stuff, but in the world of entertainment, authenticity matters. It certainly matters. And we all thought rappers were too cool for the program, but how many rappers have we seen fall off? How many rappers have we seen go broke? How many rappers have we seen snitch? Like Atlanta going through it. All of their rappers are snitches. Once again, I'm not a criminal, so I don't live or abide by any criminal codes of snitching or not snitching, right? But that's what they say. And it's like, hey, that's the mystique, right? So when you go on these podcasts, your aura is going to be destroyed. Your aura is absolutely destroyed, and you end up looking goofy. All of these guys end up looking goofy and normal and regular when they get in the presence of somebody who's really got it like that, and they're just chilling. Because this person, the rappers are tryhards, and the streamers are just normal, chill kids. So it's like, which one would you rather do? Why would I want to idolize the tryhard who don't even have it, don't even have the money locked down, when I can look up to or emulate the streamer who's a goofy, but he got it like that? I got to agree with Act, man. The streaming killed it.